Hello world, Stephen Michael Zack here, and today we are taking a look at two cages for my iPhone 16 Pro Max. First off, we have the SmallRig right here and the newer cage right here. Now they did cost this much at the time of the recording of the video, and I did buy these with my own money, so these are going to be my own brutal and honest opinions as always. So let's go down to the ring to see which one of these is going to be crowned the champion. Now let's take a look at the SmallRig kit. Now first off, you do get a very nice green cage. Green, not my favorite color, but you do get on the top here, you do get 3/4 20s and of course your button, and you do get this removable sliding metal piece for other attachments. So there you go, and it seems like they have like these little depressing little depressed ball heads that depress and lock in. You get a cold shoe, a place for a wrist strap, also a place for a wrist strap over here, which I will never use. You get a place for your power plugs to go into, a place for your handle to connect to. Then you get your locking mechanism, 3 more 1/4 20s, all your buttons, another cold shoe, another place for a handle, and then another cold shoe on this side. And of course, you do get these little grooves to your handles at the bottom, and you do get your lock and release buttons here. Next is the inner cage, and yes, this is thin enough to still use MagSafe. So this is pretty much just a rubber case that comes with it. Now you do get 3 attachments in the kit. You get your basic iPhone attachment, which just slides on like so. You just have to make sure that you're sliding it on the right way. But you do get the basic attachment here, which slides on from the side. And you do get this one. Now I will put down on the screen which lenses go to this one. Now I do have a lens. I believe it's a 17mm. I'll put it up on the screen. Lens. This kit does not come with all the lens plates that you need. You will have to buy them separately. But this one slides in just like so. And again, it is well made. And then you get this one right here, which is for your VND. And you're going to line that up like so and slide that in. And then you have a variable VND, which also comes with the kit. And yes, it is magnetic. So this is a magnetic system. You do not get any kind of screw thread around here. And we will talk about that towards the end, SmallRig. Moving on, you get this rubber thing that goes around your phone. I have no idea what this is for. It is not in the instructions. Why the hell did I pay for this? But you get it. Next, let's take a look at the hand grip. It is made of plastic and it does feel nice. You do have a 1/4 20 here and a locking release here. And what you do is you just slide this into the rubber casing and you're going to push this down. And there you go. That is the grip for your iPhone. So you can walk around and shoot like that. Like you are on a 1980s camcorder. Next, let's check out the handles. They are very well made and have very strong grips. Both of them do have these tops that slide off to reveal different cold shoes, which is nice. Extra cold shoes, which is nice. And each of them have a secret in the bottom. They have a little compartment and they have an Allen key that is held in by magnets. So they won't fall out. And this one does have the trigger button on it that is actually included. And when you slide this off and remove the 4 screws, you can replace the battery. Now you do get a nice little pouch, and I really like this pouch because it can hold all your accoutrement like this. It can hold things like if you want to slide this in, or you want a soft pouch for your VND and you don't want to carry around the case. You've got that. And I did purchase separately the SmallRig VND kit, and we'll chat about this later. But you can add a magnetic 67mm ring to this to add on your own lens filters. We'll talk about that in the cons section. And finally, you get this decent bag. It does have actually a pouch in here. So it's kind of like divided into 3. So I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you just shove stuff down one side, the other side, and the middle. That is nice. It's got these pull strings, which I'm not crazy about because those will come untied and fall out of the bag very quickly. And finally, they do give you a SmallRig cleaning cloth. So there you go. There you have it. Now let's take a look at the Neewer. The Neewer is, first of all, much smaller than the SmallRig, so you can slide this into your pocket here. Now on the top of the phone here, you are going to get a quarter 20 here, your button, and then two quarter 20s here. And then you have this thing that removes for other accessories. You get a cold shoe, again, with these little locking, depressing, these little balls that depress to lock things in. You get a place for to put like you get a place to put more attachments, your handles, your wires to go. Then you have a place for a wrist strap, never going to happen on one of my rigs. Three quarter 20s, all your buttons here. Then when you flip around, again, you've got a place for your handle, and again, you've got a place for more attachments, and of course, another cold shoe there. And of course, on the bottom here, you have a release, and this opens up very much like the old SmallRig, closes and locks tight shut. Now, you are going to get more attachments with this. You do get these three attachments. Again, you do get a VND attachment. I do like this attachment because I did purchase a lens that is actually going to fit it. And you pretty much line up the holes with these grooves, which is a bit difficult to do. And then you're going to slide it and snap it into place. And then you could take something like this ULANZI lens, which I will probably do a review of very shortly. And you can go ahead and you can just line that up like so, and you can screw that in, and then you have an adaptive lens. So there you go. There you have it. Okay, so one thing I like about these rings here is they do give you a diagram to show you which way it goes in and out, which I love. The SmallRig does not do that, and so I'm left guessing. But there we go. That snaps in. Now, I will say that this is threaded. So yes, you can add your own filters. So I can get a 67 millimeter to 82 millimeter and use all of my Freewell VNDs, which is great. Or I could just spin on regular 67 millimeter ND filters separately. But this does have a screw thread, whereas the SmallRig does not. And let's finally talk about the handles. Yes, the handles also have removable. Where'd it go?
I keep telling myself I'm just doing my job.
So as you see, the SmallRig does have these removable cold shoes here. These are much looser than on the SmallRig. And you do get an Allen key here. And yes, you can actually loosen this up and slide the handle up and down on the fastening system here. So you can actually adjust the handles to how you want them. So say you want the handles more perpendicular with the phone, you can do that. Again, you get an Allen wrench locked in by magnets. And yes, I did buy separately the trigger system. So I can slide this out, unscrew the four little screws there, change my batteries if I need to. And I could just slide this into place. Now let's attach this to the cage. What I really like is that there are locking mechanisms. You're going to pull this and let the clamp lock on, and then you're going to lock it into position, and this is never going to move. So very, very cool. And again, they do give you a clamp up here, so you could either go, they give you a clamp on all four sides, so you can either go vertical mode with this, which some people may want to do, or you can turn this and go top handle. So very, very, very cool. A lot of ways you can maneuver these. And again, you've got the Allen keys inside here. Okay, let's talk pros and cons first with the SmallRig, and I'm going to set up the SmallRig so I can show you what the problem is. And that is, if I take my cell phone, which I will turn off. If I take my cell phone, first of all, you've got to mount it in the case. I would put this on first. It feels like I'm going to slip and scratch my lens, or if I push too hard, this will indent a little bit and possibly scratch the lens. So I always want to make sure that I put this on first. I know it's probably not going to happen, but, just in case. So you want to snap this into position here. And let's take a look at the handle and how the handle attaches. Attaches very well. And you just kind of slide this up, slide this forward. Maybe if I can get my thumb in there. Very difficult to do that. Of course, I did it on the wrong side, which is why it was difficult. Make sure this is on the right side, Stephen. And go ahead and snap that in. That is, let's go ahead and lock that. And that does not lock very well, I will say. There we go. Now it's nice and locked. There's a little bit of play, but it is locked. I'm not crazy about the locking system here, but let's take a look at how this goes into the cage. And this is the first major con. You have to sort of kind of do it at an angle, push this in, and then press this button. The problem is it is way too easy to bump that bottom button and have this fall out of the cage. And then your iPhone goes kersplat. I don't know why they switched from a system like this where there is a lever and you just slide your phone in and it locks. That is the best system. SmallRig, I don't understand. I don't know if that was SmallRig's decision or the YouTuber who helped create this, but it is terrible. And just listen to how much play is in there. I don't want to be running around with this camera and hear jiggling. So this is a terrible locking mechanism. Definitely a massive negative. And that leads me to another negative, and that is, yes, they give you a VND. Yes, in the kit, they give you the attachment for the VND, but for some strange reason, they do not give you the magnetic 67mm thread. You cannot buy this separately. I had to actually repurchase the VND and the VND magnetic plate here in order to get the 67mm ring that is supposed to just magnetize to this. So that is, I don't know why SmallRig did that. So now I'm stuck with two of these kits. That is a major downside now. I do know that Freewell does make a 76mm magnetic rings that are threaded. So I'm probably going to try one of those to see if that works. Hopefully I can find a third party because I really don't know why they don't just sell these rings. They don't currently, and I think that's a huge mistake. That leads me not to buy. That makes me not want to buy the entire kit and just buy everything separately and get what I need. Not really sure why this is not included. That is another major downer. And of course, with the case, this is not a great case. These strings are going to come untied. This is going to pull out like every other case I have like this, and there's going to be no way to close it. So I will most likely be finding something else to put my SmallRig in. And with the handles, while it does have this nice turning, you cannot move the handles up and down. So let's say I'm shooting, I have the phone and I am shooting something. I cannot get this parallel with the phone, which would be my preference. I can kind of go into this mode, and that kind of gets it parallel. But it's not, there's no adjustability. And finally, why the hell did I pay for this? What is this? Why is it in the kit? It's nowhere in the instructions. It is, I don't know what to do with this. So, thanks, SmallRig. Now let's talk the negatives with the Neewer. One is this rubber piece feels like it's just going to fall out and get lost, which really isn't a big deal. And I will say that these cold shoe things slide off way too easily. But the worst thing about this cage is, and I will show you in a minute, let's go ahead and let's slap on the handles here. And I will show you one of the major things that is going to drive me crazy once these are locked in. This turns way too easily and can slip off, apparently. Just wasn't locked properly. But these can slip off way too easily, and it's very difficult to get these on. It almost feels like they're not deep enough. Like the groove here is not deep enough, and you really have to lock these tight. They're not going to come off, but look at this. It's already spinning around. I hate this. This is like when I have a tripod or a shoulder rig and things start turning on me, or like you're on a shoulder rig and the handle starts loosening up. This is going to drive me absolutely crazy. And unfortunately, there is no way to make these tighter. Yes, you can slide these up and down, but there is no way to make this tighter, and that is a huge misstep. If I do keep this cage, I will probably find some kind of third party that'll screw directly in because that is super annoying and a giant negative for me. Also, these come off way too again, like I said, these come off way too easily. And then finally, this has a tendency, I feel like this has a tendency to either possibly bend or break. I know it's solid metal, but I did have a few problems where this actually got jammed up, especially the big ring got jammed up, and it's very difficult to not only push in, but to pull out, because you do have to put basically equal pressure, and you do have to get it, first of all, put it in right, but you have to do equal pressure, and you have to get it in just perfectly. And it's a bit hard to align here. It is a bit hard to align. And this one's a bit hard to pull down. So as you can see, already having a few problems with this mount. So pretty good, but not great. Now, one of the other major negatives, and I believe you can get it for the SmallRig, but not for the newer, is I have the old M series moment lens, and right now it does not come with an attachment for that. So that is kind of a negative for me. I don't know if these are going to be supported anymore as sensors change, so I will most likely end up selling this. Okay, so one other massive negative with this cage is if you have this on and you're sliding your phone in, the lenses are definitely brushing against this. So that is a huge, huge, huge negative. You're going to want to take this off and you're going to want to slide your phone in first to protect your lenses and lock that in safe here, like so. And then you're going to want to put this on so that your lens is not going to get scratched. So that is yet another negative with the newer cage. Now let's talk about the pros with the SmallRig. The SmallRig is fairly solid. I love these handles. They are not going to twist around on me. They lock into place solidly. Now I don't know if these are going to wear out over time. Hopefully not, because there is no locking mechanism. I do like how tough these are to take off. They feel great in the hands. The cage does feel pretty darn solid. Again, see it just slipped out. So that is a huge issue. I do love the fact that you get your Allen wrenches in the bottom here, and they're held in strongly by magnets. That is super cool. And you get 2 of them, 1 in each handle. So that is fantastic. Again, you can put this up you can go vertical, or you can turn this and go as a top handle. It really does feel solid. I love the fact that they give you a pouch to keep everything in. They do give you a couple of attachments. The VND seems to work fairly well. And while this really is kind of a gimmick, it works. It's just a little hard to lock with my big meaty fingers. So there you go. There you have it. This thing is made fairly well. It feels robust. It feels pretty solid. It's got everything you could possibly want. But then again, so does the newer, as things fall off my desk.
A few moments later.
So while these are 2 great systems, I do like the fact that the newer is smaller than the SmallRig. I can actually fit this into my pocket if I take the handles out. This is going to fit in my pocket like an iPhone case. This is just too big. But then again, at the end of the day, this is a huge deal breaker. So I am going to call this one a draw. Neither of these is the perfect cage. For me, what kills this is the handles are just too bendable. They're just too twisty. And the fact that the way that this fits on, it gets jammed up a whole lot and feels like it could bend and break and get stuck. So that is the negative there that kills it. And for me, with the SmallRig system, why SmallRig? You had a system with a lock that opened like this and you slid your phone into, and it was nice and safe. Why would you switch to a mechanism that is this faulty? I mean, all it takes is just one bump and oh, my cell phone fell out and broke. So a terrible, terrible, terrible locking system. You should absolutely rethink your locking system, because this locking system is a bad idea. It feels cheap. It feels like it's just not going to last. And there's a lot of rattle, a lot of play inside this cage. So not a good locking mechanism. So I definitely cannot choose the SmallRig.
So I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
So I'm going to call this one a draw. Neither of these are the perfect cage, so you're just going to have to decide which one's going to be perfect for you and what mods you can make to these. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the newer because of the phone gets locked in. It's smaller. It'll fit in my pocket in the cage. And with the handles, I can replace these handles with something else. I can find something online that'll just screw into here and not be such a problem. But the thing is, the locking mechanism really kills it for the SmallRig, and the fact that there's so much play. And then you get all this extra stuff, which, why? Gimmicky. So there you go. There you have it. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to mash that bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use links below as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zack, and I'll see you next time inside the ring.